If you're a federal government employee and you're worried about your retirement, you don't know what to do, this is the channel that you want to tune into, because we're going to put some information in here that's going to be very helpful for you to make clear decisions about your federal retirement. So today we're going to be talking about the 3 key pillars to your federal retirement. Okay, as a federal government employee, some of you have given this nation probably 20 to 30, 40 years of your life, serving this nation. And because of that, when you retire, you get benefits that you take into retirement. So there are 3 key things that you need to know about those benefits. One, well, some people call it what? The 3-legged stool. Some people call it the 3 buckets, right? So whatever you want to call it, but there are 3 things that you need to think about. Number 1 is going to be your pension, right? So you are eligible for a pension when you meet all the requirements as your federal government employee. And that pension is a guaranteed income coming to you for the rest of your life. So in other words, you cannot outlive that. Why is that important? That is extremely important because we know that longevity is the mother of all risk, like living too long. So therefore, the pension is there to kind of like reduce that risk out there for you. So pension is a great thing over here. Now, the other thing is your thrift savings plan, your TSP. So you have your TSP there. It's designed for you to be able to contribute money in there while you're working. And then because you're doing that, you're also going to get your margin from your agency. That way your TSP can grow for later days in retirement. That way you'll be able to use that fund to actually supplement your retirement income or use it for anything else that you want to do in retirement. So TSP is key. And the other thing we have is the Social Security. Now, this is different. If you are FIRST or if you are CSRS, you do not get Social Security, but if you are in the new system, you do get Social Security. And then we're going to get into which one is better, whether the old system or the new system, right? We're going to get into that. But you do have a Social Security if you're FIRST, right? Because while you're working, you are paying into Social Security just like anybody else out there. And that way, when you retire, you're going to get that income, Social Security income coming in when you are eligible. So in retirement, you're going to have 3 sources of income. And then 2 of those incomes are going to be guaranteed. One is your pension. You're going to get that for the rest of your life. The other guaranteed income will be your Social Security coming to you. Now, the TSP income is not guaranteed. That's your money you put in there, and the matching money that goes in there as well. So you can, if you deplete that, if you take money out of your TSP, you could potentially run out of money. But it's there to basically supplement those 2 guaranteed income out there. So none of these 3 things, like these 3 things over here, they're not designed to actually work in just by themselves alone, right? It's designed so that they can work together. So if you heavily rely on only one, that could definitely pose a significant challenge in your retirement. So make sure you know that. Now, the other thing that I wanted to kind of like, set light on, people will say, is the old system better than the new system? Well, it depends on how you look at it, right? So people that are in the old system, the argument is they have a better pension, they have a better plan because their pension is larger. Well, yeah, that's true. They're going to get a larger portion of a pension now. But the reason being, while they are working, they also contributed a lot more into their pension system. Well, so when they retire, they're going to get their pension, but guess what they're not getting? They're not getting Social Security, and they're also not getting matching contributions into their TSP. They can still contribute into the TSP, but they don't get the matching, right? So if you want to compare their large pension to FIRST, what you want to compare is to FIRST, you have to compare the smaller pension for FIRST, but you're also going to compare their TSP plus the matching contribution and the Social Security that they're going to get, right? So you have to take those 3, compare it to the larger one. So whatever you want to look at it, right, that's how it goes, right? So you can look at it to say the old system is better, or you can look at say, oh, the new system is better. It's up to you, but I just want to make sure that I get that clarification out there, all right? So the second thing that we're going to talk about when it comes to your retirement, the retirement is not just about your age. Far too many federal government employees tend to retire when they hit a certain number, right? When they basically hit, let's say 60, or when they hit whatever number, the age that they have in their mind, they tend to hit that. So what I wanted to make you understand is retirement is not just turning a certain age, right? Retirement should be more like, should be, you have to think about your eligibility, but also a strategy around retirement, because you just only being eligible for retirement doesn't necessarily mean that you should retire. You have to look at your eligibility. Just also say, are you able to retire? Is there a plan that you have put in place to be able to so sure that you can retire comfortably? Because we want to make sure that when you retire, you could do the things that matters to you and your family and be able to enjoy that while you are in retirement, okay? So retirement is not only about hitting that minimum retirement age. The MRA basically means that your minimum retirement age, right? It's not about that. It's also not about now think about your early retirement penalties. If you do retire early, there's a penalty that you have to pay, and that penalty is going to be with you for the rest of your life. You have to think about, is that worth it, right? So that's something that you need to put into account, okay? You also have to think about when you retire early, so you have reduced versus unreduced pension out there. Do you want to get a reduced pension, or do you want to get your full pension going into retirement? That's what I think about it. So you don't retire when you are tired. You retire when the math actually works for you. So that's extremely, extremely important. I want to make sure that we clear that out. Now, the other thing that we want to talk about when it comes to your federal retirement is the wrong timing can cost you money. What I mean by wrong timing, I'm talking about the time that you're going to retire. When you retire, it's very, very, very important for you to have a profound retirement, right? So let's talk about that. Living before pension multiplier increases, right? What do I mean by that? Well, imagine if you're only 61 years old and then you're going to retire. Well, the question to you is, you're 61 years, probably have like 25 years of service. The question to you is, do you know that maybe by waiting for one more year, now you can add 10% on top of your pension out there? So those are key things, key decisions that you need to make before you basically put in your paperwork and then be able to retire. The other thing is like claiming Social Security too early. Far too many people do come into us, and then you know what, they'll say, Mama, guess what, I start collecting my Social Security, and then some of them probably don't even need it, and then you know what, they decide to collect that Social Security, some of them because of water cooler talk, because of their friends. They'll go, their friends will say, oh, you got to collect Social Security. It's not going to be there. It's going to go, it's going to go bankrupt, right? No, you do not want to make your retirement decisions based on that. You want to make sure that you sit down and then be able to calculate your retirement numbers and then be able to make that decision. Because I happen to believe that for so many people, their Social Security is their biggest financial asset. What do I mean by that? Because if they strategize Social Security the right way, over their lifetime, the amount of money that they can collect is by far one of the biggest assets that they will have in retirement or in their lifetime. The other thing is withdrawing money from your TSP without a plan. You know, people go into retirement, especially in their go-go stage. They have like a bucket list. They want to travel to different places. So, you know what? They're traveling and they're withdrawing money from their TSP. Let's say they're withdrawing $5,000 every single month, right? Now, what math, what planning have you done to show that when you withdraw $5,000 out of your TSP on a regular basis, on a monthly basis, are you going to run out of money? What if the stock market goes down 10, 20%, and you're still taking $5,000 out? Are you going to run out of money? So these are the things that you need to make sure that you have a plan, or you've done some sort of like, financial planning to sustain that, to show that you can sustain that $5,000. Because that's extremely important, because what you don't want to do is to be able to run out of money at a time that you are vulnerable. Meaning that you're at a distinguished age, you cannot just get up and then go get a job. Maybe your health issues will not warrant you to do that. So we got to be very, very careful to make sure that we have enough money for you to be able to enjoy your retirement or to do the things that you need to do when you get to especially the stage, what I call the no-go stage in retirement. Oh, by the way, there are 3 stages in retirement. I'm sure you've heard this before. It's a go-go stage, slow-go stage, and the no-go stage. And then guess what? Those 3 stages, they're all very, very important in terms of like money-wise, because you need money to be able to sustain yourself in all those 3 stages out there. Right? Hi, thanks for watching. You see, retirement is not an event, it's a journey that needs to be planned. And people that are enjoying profound retirement, they've done significant amount of planning. So if you're interested in having a profound retirement, call us. We'll be able to show you your way and then guide you so that you can put a plan in place and then enjoy your profound retirement.